This is Rock and Roll Radio. Stay tuned for more rock and roll.
Hi guys, do you want to introduce yourself to our listeners?
I'm Chris.
I'm Gav.
I'm Rich.
Welcome guys. So first of all, how does it feel to be on tour again?
Amazing. Really good.
Yeah, good. We've been in the studio, writing the record in the studio for the last year and a half, so it's nice to be out and seeing some places and playing shows. Right.
How's the tour going? Last the best dates so far, the best gigs?
We did Munich last night. That was pretty cool. Amsterdam, always good. Yeah.
Amsterdam is always cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Day off as well, which is quite interesting. Yeah.
I don't understand why. I can't figure out why all the bands try to take a day off in Amsterdam. I don't know.
I was bored, to be honest.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Probably the right.
Nobody got arrested.
The Rijksmuseum, maybe.
Right.
That's the point, because I always, just when you go on holiday, I'm going to Amsterdam to see the museums and stuff like that, always like that. No, okay, let's start with the serious question. First of all, you changed your original lineup after a lot of years. How does it influence the balance in your band? How is it going with the new lineup?
Well, these are the two new guys.
Yeah, in fact, that's why we were asking that.
Yeah, so we've just improved things.
Yeah, they
were good before, but now they're just a bit better.
Yeah, we could never have won in a fight before. We got us, fighting chances.
You needed to add some muscles to the lineup.
So we figured out we needed to add, some Arnie power with that man there. But yeah, no, it's been good. Sort of writing's been really good because we all work separately on ideas and then sort of get together. So as before, we'd all get in a room and try to write, and it could be quite stagnant at points. It seems to be quite free-flowing and easygoing and quite inspiring.
Some fresh blood into the band flow. Well, good to know that. And of course, we have to ask the standard question, talk about your new album. And starting from the title, because Welcome Home Armageddon. Why is that?
It's a play on words, really. Sort of, the end of the world isn't something I think which anybody would really welcome with open arms. So, I don't know, it's just slightly quirky, but at the same time, it's sort of, I suppose, paying reference to some of the things that are happening within the world at the moment. It seems like
that was I was about to ask that.
Yeah, everything seems to be going slightly pear-shaped.
Yeah, just like the Mayans were quite optimistic, maybe. Yeah. 2012, maybe it's quite an optimistic prediction.
I don't know, we might not reach that.
Yeah, that was what I was talking about. So everyone's saying, okay, the world is going to end in 2012. Maybe a little bit before, maybe they didn't have the way to calculate exactly, because I think that 2011 could be it was well.
Yeah. There's no point worrying about it, because when it happens, who's going to care after it?
Yeah, no idea. And about the musical side of the new album, which were new. Also the Fresh Blood thing. How does it influence the songwriting?
I suppose we just kind of try to make things a bit more aggressive, a bit more fast-paced, and bring back maybe a few elements of the band which were missing really on the last two albums. So we've got more screaming, like I say, faster paced songs, and just more energy, I think.
Yeah, in fact, because he's the clever guy of the two, because he wrote the questions, and the third one was, in fact, it seems that you have a lot of aggression and rage to express in your music. Yeah, you got the point, actually.
Yeah.
So. We just have to skip this question because they already answered it. Because in fact it was about the fact that you have much more rage and energy, maybe even much more than before. But it was influenced by all the stuff that's going on, or just like a personal fact.
I think it was something that we look back over what we've done throughout our career, and kind of all of the musical changes that we kind of made in order to not sound like the bands who kind of came after us. And then we kind of sat down and figured that, what we do best is what comes naturally, and aggressive music comes natural to us. So it's better to go with something that you do naturally than force yourself to do something which you have to work really hard to do.
Felt just natural.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can understand that. And next question. You're about 10 years of careers. Am I right?
Yeah.
Pretty close. And did you 10 years ago, did you imagine yourself here? I mean, not just like here in this radio in Via Zuretti, Milan. I mean, just like how did you imagine your career 10 years ago? Of course, yeah, when you start a band, you always dream to be successful. But
I think it was quite strange that when we first started, it was kind of, yeah, we were literally doing it as something to do on the weekend, something which we could just do, maybe play a couple of shows with, and then I don't know, everything just seemed to fall into place quite naturally. Where with other bands who've been in, it was always, a struggle to get shows. It was always really difficult. Everything just seemed to be really easy with this band. It just seemed to work. So I don't know if 10 years ago when we were practicing in the church hall in Gilbach, I don't know if somebody.
Where? Sorry.
Yeah, my hometown, Gilbach, There you go, where I'm from, in Wales.
Welsh Gaelic.
Yeah, it's Welsh. It's
Welsh, okay.
Bit of a mouthful, means translates to Little Red Village or Little Red Nook.
Okay, that's easier.
That doesn't make sense either, but yeah. But yeah,
that's something red over there, or just the name?
No, not really. There's nothing red there whatsoever. I think it might have come from like when the iron industries were there, and sort of apparently the river used to run orange from all the rust, so they could probably.
That's about
So. But if somebody had said then that we'd,
that's pretty hardcore, actually. The Red River from the old Ras from the steel factory.
Yeah, it's part of the thing that makes us angry, I think.
Probably.
The iron in the water.
Yeah, there's a rust.
There'll be something in the water, probably.
Yeah.
And after that, at the beginning of the last decade, along with bands like Finch, Used, and some other bands, you were considered the starters of the so-called emo-core movement. How do you think you fit in this definition? Is it kind of too small for you? You feel like part if this definition fits or not, or it's not enough?
I think if people feel comfortable calling us something and it makes them like us, then call us what you want, as long as you like us. Doesn't really bother me, to be honest.
That's the right attitude, because sometimes I interview bands that are much more interested in how they are called by the people, or something like that. No, we don't fit in that definition because so and so and so. But I think who cares? As long as the tunes are good, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. As long as people like your music, then that's the only thing that matters. Yeah, there are only really two types of music, and that's good music and bad music, and that's down to the listener. Yeah.
That's my point of view as well.
Or Johnny, post-happy, funky, death, hardcore music.
But that starts to get that starts to get annoying. I mean, the name for a musical genre could be also made of 2 words for me. If it starts being 3 words or 4, that's definitely too much. If you can define your music genre with 2 words, don't do it. Just stick to rock, metal, hardcore, happy music.
Happy music, yeah. Well, I don't know. They had I suppose for emo music, they had like 4 different titles for it. It started off as post-hardcore, then it was emo, then it was emo-core, then it was extremo, then it was
hardcore.
Never been screamo. Okay.
So we're on 5.
There was a hardcore as well.
Hardcore, of course. Well, sometimes they just make up new names for musical genres just because it sounds good. Because probably someone just got up one morning and say, emo with screams. Screamo. That sounds good. Just start labeling some bands as screamo. It was just the point.
Extremo, I think, is the word.
Extremo.
That's new to me.
Extremo.
Yeah, we're extremo.
Extremo. Sounds pretty bad, actually. Ice Screamo.
Ice Screamo, yeah.
So they play with ice creams.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, or the old-fashioned microphones,
Yeah, 1990 flake. Nice flake.
Yeah, exactly.
Delicious.
After that, you share stage with some bands that were really big, some of the most important bands in our rock history. Someone in particular that struck your mind, or some fun fact about that?
Oh, the Blackout, definitely.
Blackout?
I don't know, touring with Iron Maiden is quite interesting because all the guys in the band are great, all their crew are great, but the crowds just did not want to watch any other band other than Iron Maiden, and it's quite hard playing to an audience who start turning around and facing the back of the room. It's like,
Yeah, it happened pretty often. Also here in Italy, there are some artists that the crowd wants only to see them. And they play often in festivals and stuff like that. And maybe sometimes the bands, the sporting bands are just like, oh, we're going to play with that artist. That's so cool. But actually, it's a curse because you just have to play and people just like drinking beer, booing or something like that. The crappy thing is that they think that if the supporting band starts finish earlier, their idol will start early. But that's not how it's working.
Yeah.
Never we work.
Sometimes crowds just think strange.
Mm-hmm.
But
Genius of the crowd.
Yes.
Idiots.
I've actually toured in Linkin Park as well, which is great fun. They like sort of Linkin Park's audience seemed to be a lot more open-minded and accepting the bands. Sort of, I think that's because Linkin Park have got 4 records out. I think like Iron Maiden have
many more.
15 or 14 now, I think.
But it's fact is also about in Europe, heavy metal fans are often quite narrow-minded, and if it's something just not just like classic heavy metal, they start to don't like it that much. Instead, Linkin Park, of course, came out of a melting pot of styles, so maybe their listeners are a little bit more open-minded, and in fact in their audience you can find metal kids or core kids, people that normally listen also to pop music or something like that. It's always pretty hard to play with heavy metal legends or something like that. I think it's a European thing, because I don't know about the US, but it doesn't seem so strong like here in Europe.
It's pretty much the same out there. If you play with like, Iron Maiden, Metallica, Guns N' Roses, any of those bands, you're in for a pretty hard time.
Yeah, I can tell.
But like I said, the guys, all the people in the band, they're just, unbelievably nice, really helpful, sort of supportive, give us loads of great advice, which then we kind of took, from that, and we took the experience, and it kind of helped with our live show, sort of, so, yeah.
Yeah, and I can imagine that for a band from the UK is always just like a dream coming true, playing with Iron Maiden, probably one of the most famous heavy metal bands in the UK. But I don't need to say that. Everybody knows that.
Ok, direi che prima di congedare i Funeral for a Friend, prima dovresti chiedere di registrare un IDs per la radio e poi li lasciamo andare e facciamo anche sentire il loro nuovo singolo.
Ma la registrazione la facciamo? La
facciamo subito, in diretta.
Tra l'altro il tuo computer è morto.
Ah, fantastico. Comunicazioni di servizio. Va bene, io ti chiederei di spiegare ai ragazzi cosa devono fare in modo che lo facciano sul bianco, così noi possiamo lasciarli andare al tunnel a fare il loro soundcheck e possiamo passare Blackout, che saranno qui tra poco negli studi di Rock and Roll Radio.
Ok, perfetto. Quindi vado direttamente con... Ok, so guys, we are done. The last thing I'm asking you if you can record some greetings for Rock and Roll Radio listening, just like we are feeling for a friend, we are listening to Rock and Roll Radio. Just as it's going. Quando? Okay, whenever you want.
We're Funeral for a Friend. You're listening to Rock and Roll Radio.
Awesome, perfect. Thank you guys.
Thank you very much to be here. It was a pleasure.
Nice to meet you, man. Thank you.
Good. We'll see you tonight at the club for the show, okay?
Cheers.
See ya.
Thanks a lot,
Have a good night. Bye.
Ok, io intanto vi ricordo anche gli altri 2 appuntamenti che fanno parte di queste 3 date italiane dei Funeral for a Friend, ovvero oltre quello di stasera al Tunnel di Milano ci sarà quello di domani al Blackout di Roma e quello del 7 di maggio al Rock Planet di Pinarella di Cervia, e intanto noi vi facciamo sentire quello che è il loro nuovo singolo tratto da Welcome Home Armageddon, e vi diamo appuntamento a tra pochissimo qui ancora su rocknrollradio.it per un'altra intervista con i The Blackout. A tra poco. Turn it on.